Calling all entrepreneurs, get ready, because when it comes to commercial insurance and surety bonding for your business, you need to pay attention. That's our topic today on The Pulse. Hello, I'm Denise Roberts, and welcome to The Pulse, the show dedicated to helping Prince George's County businesses. Finding the proper insurance options for your business can be a long and complicated process. From professional liability to health coverage and even vehicle coverage, there are so many different things to consider in order to ensure that your business is fully covered should anything happen. Joining me today is Ken Jenkins, one of the top producing agents for the Meltzer Group, who just happens to be a former Washington Redskin. Ken, welcome to the show.
Hi, Denise. How you doing?
Good. So it's so exciting. You used to play for my favorite team.
Well, if you're hometown, you got to root for the Redskins. You got to root for the hometown team.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, you know, can you just tell me why it's so important for a business to have insurance?
Yeah, well, so first of all, insurance is like the least sexiest topic to ever to really talk about. It's one of those things
aside from taxes.
Well, aside from taxes, but nobody really wants to really get into it because it's one of those things that kind of runs in the background. It's like your antivirus software. You don't really know that you need it until something happens.
Right.
And but you have to be insured. You have to be insured at the proper levels, and that can. There are a lot of factors in that. There. What levels of insurance that you need, and we can certainly talk about those things, but you got to have it.
You got to have it because it can protect you, because it could cost you a lot of money.
That's exactly right.
Right.
Exactly
right. So what types of insurance are there out there for businesses that they need to take into consideration?
So that's a loaded question. We could be here forever. The truth of the matter is, if it can be insured, there's a policy that you can get for it.
Okay.
There are, these golf tournaments that have the hole-in-one for the cars. You win a car if you get a hole-in-one. Well, those things are insured, so that the people putting the tournament on. So there are companies that will insure anything.
Okay.
Okay. So generally speaking, for smaller companies or for any company, you got to have some sort of liability insurance. Liability insurance just protects you from bodily injury and property damage if you were to cause that somewhere. There are so many riders you can add onto that that it becomes mind-boggling. I mean, you could, as a company, for instance, at your holiday party, you could call and add a rider for liquor insurance because you serve liquor at your party and somebody had an unfortunate accident and maybe try to come back and get you. There are so many things you can do, but liability is one. Errors and omissions is another. Errors and omissions is something that if you were to, someone were to lose money by engaging you for goods or services, that you'd be covered should they sue you. Okay.
Okay. All right. So do all businesses need insurance?
Absolutely. I mean, at the very minimum, you got to have some kind of liability insurance, for, again, bodily injury or property damage. A lot of things go into what kind of insurances your company needs. It's based on size. It can be on the industry. It can be on the danger of the jobs that folks have, the size of your company.
What about home-based businesses?
Absolutely, same thing. I mean, you should have something. You should have something to cover you. It's almost in the same way that you should be incorporated, because you can protect yourself against someone suing you for your own personal thing. The insurance will help you and protect you. Okay, okay.
What about situations like freelancers and independent contractors?
Well, again,
and this can be really helpful for businesses who want to do government contracting.
Yeah, well, so what's interesting is a lot of those, you should have some kind of insurance. It's going to protect you should you, again, have a slip and fall, or should you go, or one of your employees go into a government contracting office and take some information out of there. You got to be. In fact, most of the federal government contracts now for people working in there are requiring some sort of cybersecurity coverage, because you could have an Edward Snowden walk in and walk out with some information, but that's your employee. So now they're coming after you.
Okay.
So again, there's so many different layers and levels that you, depending on the industry that you're in, you just have to have a really good consultant who can kind of walk you through that. We haven't even started talking about health benefits and ACA and how those things are going to change.
Right. What about the Affordable Care Act? Do you have, what's your take on that, given the new leadership of the country?
Okay, I want to read something to you that came down from on high from our company.
Well, you got to be quick.
I'm going to be quick. I'll be quick. Okay, and basically it says employers should be aware of the potential changes and should keep a keen out for developments. Of particular importance is to remember that nothing has actually changed. The ACA is currently in effect and employers should comply. That means, among other things, that large employers should continue to offer affordable coverage to full-time employees and plan to report on the IRS forms. Plan designs covering your children up to 26 years old. So nothing has changed yet. I have an idea what may happen though.
Okay. All right. Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to cut it short there, but I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today for this quick interview.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Do you want to grow your bonding capacity? That's up next when we come back.
Money? That's easy as pie. Brown bagging lunch instead of going out. $6 save times 5 days a week times 10 years is $21,000. That's a lot of lettuce. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feedthepig.org.
The word on the street is there is over $10 billion in development projects coming to Prince George's County. What does that mean for local small businesses? Get certified! If you want increased access to those opportunities, Prince George's County has 3 different certifications to help you tap into public and private sector projects. Number 1, if you're certified as a minority business enterprise or a disadvantaged business enterprise with the Maryland Department of Transportation, the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, the Minority Supplier Development Council, Women Presidents Education Organization, Veterans Affairs, or the U.S. Pan-Asian American Chamber of Commerce, then you are qualified to become certified with Prince George's County. Number 2, if your business is headquartered in Prince George's County, you also can become certified as a county-based business. And finally, for businesses who are headquartered outside of Prince George's County and you have a physical presence or address in the county, then you may qualify for the County Located Business Certification Program. For more information on how to become certified with Prince George's County, contact the Supplier Development and Diversity Division at 301-883-6480 or go to diversity.mypgc.us.
Claim number? When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving. We're here to help.
Welcome back to The Pulse. Bonding capacity is an important issue for contractors as their capacity will determine which projects they can pursue. Here to talk about surety bonding and how to grow your bonding capacity is Michael White, Construction Risk Advisor for IFB Insurance Services. Thank you so much for being here. I know it took you from coming all the way from New York, so thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Denise.
So bonding is so important to businesses, especially for companies who are into government contracting and construction. So can you just tell us, what is a bond?
Well, bonding goes back to the early 1900s. Basically, it's called the Miller Act. And what the Miller Act instituted was that for contractors out there that are performing any type of government work, basically to be bonded, giving a performance and payment bond back to the obligee as far as that he's going to fulfill the contractual obligations for the specific contract, 100%, which means he's going to pay his men, and which is the prevailing wage, and also he's going to pay for his material. So that's pretty much sums up what the bonding is all about.
So a bond covers all of that, right?
That's correct. You have the performance bond, which covers the payment, which covers the performance of the job, saying that he's going to fulfill 100% according to whatever the specs and the plan says. And also that the payment bond, which covers any labor and material out there.
Okay. It sounds like insurance, but it's not, right?
No.
So what's
no.
the major difference?
The difference between surety bond and insurance is surety bonds involves three parties, which you have the obligee, the owner, the surety company, as well as the prime contractor.
And you say the obligee. Who is the obligee?
The obligee is the owner. The owner owns the project.
Okay.
So, for instance, if you're doing work for the FBI, okay, the FBI owns that specific project. They don't go out and they don't do the construction of that project. They hire a prime contractor. The prime contractor comes in and pretty much completes the job. And what the surety does, the surety indemnifies the job, basically saying, okay, if anything goes wrong on this job, we as the surety is going to come in and clean up any type of discrepancies.
Okay. So let's talk about performance and payment bonds. What types of projects or contracts are they used for?
Any government, any type of government work. Okay, it could be government. Now the private sector is starting to institute bonds, surety bonds, to cover if there's any defaults on their projects. So basically, again, what the performance bond does, it covers 100% of the performance of the job, that the contractor is going to fulfill his obligations in completing the project 100% according to whatever the plans and the specs may say.
Okay.
And the payment bond is there as far as to cover any labor costs or any labor discrepancies, and as well as material.
Okay. So as a business owner interested in doing business with, let's just say, Prince George's County government, how do I qualify? What is it that I need to be bonded?
Well, usually what the surety looks for, and it's called basically we look at the 3 C's of bonding. Okay. Which is capital, capability, and
credit.
Collateral.
Collateral. Is that all that now, are those 3 C's, does that make up your credit?
Those 3 C's does not make up your credit. Okay. Okay. But the surety also looks at your credit. Okay, to basically see if you're paying your bills on time. Basically see what type of, how basically to see how dedicated you are as far as in taking care of your obligations.
Okay. Do I need to have commercial or business insurance already in place in order to qualify for a bond?
You don't have to have it in place, but you have to have it. I mean, we will look at that. We will, when you're doing any type of government work, me as a construction risk advisor, I would always like to look at your insurances just to make sure that you have the correct insurance to be on that job. Okay. Make sure you have contractual liability within your insurance. Okay, because. Okay, and I'm sorry, but we're out of time, and I just want to thank you for coming on here. I know that you had a lot more information that we could share, but I want to thank you again for coming all the way from New York. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. And that's our show for today. Thank you for tuning in. This show and previous episodes are posted on our website. It's diversity.mypgc.us, and click on the pulse. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook at PGC Diversity, and our YouTube channel is The Pulse TV. If you would like to join our small business club for a chance to showcase your business on this show, send an email with the link to your company website to sddoutreach@co.pg.md.us. I'm your host, Denise Roberts, and we will see you again next time on The Pulse.